KUSI News.
Well, a 16-year-old girl is dead, and law enforcement officers say it's because she was texting while she was driving. Samantha Nash was killed in a crash on Missouri Highway Thursday when she drove into the path of a tractor trailer. It happened just blocks from her home. Highway patrol officers say she had a long, unsent text message on her phone. The driver of the truck said he saw something in her hand just before the crash. Well, texting while driving is a growing trend that's quickly becoming one of the country's top killers, especially when it concerns teenagers.
As we just saw in that story. In fact, more than 3,000 teenagers' deaths each year are now associated with texting and driving. Wayne Irving is our special guest this evening. He's the founder of a group called the Text Kills bus tour. Welcome to KUSI this evening. I know you've come all the way from Orange County to bring us this message. How is the Text Kills bus tour helping to get this message across?
Well, you know, the reason why I'm here is I have 3 teenage daughters. Okay. I've got a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 18-year-old. And the whole reason why I started this was my 15-year-old daughter came to me and said, "Dad, will you sign my permit to get my application for my driver's license?" I had a chill come over my body because just 2 or 3 nights earlier, I saw something on the news about 7,800 people died in 2010 from texting while driving. And so Text Kills was born as an outreach program to develop and find technologies to help thwart this problem of texting and driving and dying behind the wheel. And so we started 2010. We headed across the country twice now, and we've touched over 100,000 people have signed the bus, taken a pledge to not text or talk on the phone while driving. There you can see the bus there. We feel like we're touching, you know, folks, but it's really about awareness, and thank goodness there's lots of organizations out there like us that are committed as much as we are to getting the message out. You know, we've been over 300 schools, colleges, high schools, middle schools with the message since 2010.
Let me ask you this, Wayne. There was a story last week that said texting, as far as teenagers, now is responsible for more deaths than drinking and driving. That's huge, isn't it?
No, it is. It is a big deal. I mean, I think you're going to see over the next 3 to 5 months a lot of focus on texting and driving because there's big studies that have just came out about the dangers of texting and how behind the wheel and how more teenagers are dying today from texting and driving than teenagers drinking and driving. And you know, it's tough. You know, when you see a story like this young girl on her first trip behind the wheel. I mean, I remember my daughter getting behind the wheel the first time, and I'm thinking to myself, gosh, you know, I hope she doesn't text.
How do you convince a teenager, though? A teenager, oftentimes they think, well, it's never going to happen to me. I know how to text. I've been doing this for years. I'm really fast. It'll never happen to me. How do you get the message through that it could happen?
You know what? I'm so glad you asked that question. I have 3 teenage daughters, like I just said. You have got to make it their idea. Okay, so we have several simulations that we show. We give them a really near experience behind the wheel. They sit at one of the simulators. They're actually driving an automobile. We've got a cockpit set up there, you know, a dashboard and a gas pedal and everything. And they are actually reading text messages while they're driving on our simulator. And if they crash, their parents are there watching them a lot of the times, and we hope, you know, that we're getting across. And we do get a lot of teens that go, wow, you know, I mean, and certainly as unfortunate as it is, this young girl lost her life. You know, it took us 30 years to adopt seatbelts. I mean, and still 85% of us only 85% of us wear a seatbelt. So we don't have 30 years. There's too many people dying too quickly, and especially when it comes to teens, you know, they're just not as experienced behind the wheel. You know, drunk driving, you're at least looking at the road. You might be impaired, but your eyes are on the road. You know, Ryan Folan, one of my executive producers, he's like, he compares it to Braille. You're at least looking in the direction that you're headed. You know, but when you're texting and driving, you're looking down. Just on the way here from Orange County, we witnessed a woman swerving all over the road, looking down at her phone. I was like, she's got to be texting. So we pulled up beside her. We looked in. Sure enough, she's not even looking at the road. Jeez. So if you just check a text message, it's 5 seconds. It's the length of a football field you travel. Yeah. But this woman was looking away for way more than 5 seconds. Wow. And you know, and this was an adult, by the way. So much more experienced driver. So you know, it's a big deal. Thank you so much for having us down here.
Wayne, thank you so much for coming all the way down from Orange County on a weekend, and it's great information.
Thank you. If they could just visit textkills.com, we sure appreciate any help and support.
Okay. TextKills.com.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks.